What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to discuss some crypto, and more importantly, we're going to be discussing why you should be looking into HEX, probably the best cryptocurrency to invest in right now, and how it's going to be viral very soon. So stay tuned to the end of this video because definitely got some information that you definitely want to hear. If you don't know what HEX is, it's a high interest blockchain certificate of deposit that pays you trustless yield for locking up your tokens. It's like a savings account on steroids. It gives you passive income without any middleman or any fees. HEX has been outperforming every other cryptocurrency since its launch in 2019. It's gone up over 10,000x since inception and has an average annual percentage yield of 38% for stakers. Let me say that again, 38% APY. That is fire. That means, to break it down, if you invested $1,000 in HEX at launch, you would actually have over $9 million today. Now, to make it even better, if you had staked it just for 1 year during that time, you would actually have over $12 million. Folks, that is insane returns. Again, that's off $1,000 investment. So there's one thing that most people aren't even talking about and still don't even know about how amazing HEX really is. The reason why is HEX is still under the radar for most people in the crypto space. Not only is it under the radar, but also it's kind of gatekept by a lot of gatekeepers. Let's just keep it real. So there's a website called CoinMarketCap that puts HEX permanently at spot 201. It's kind of a bad rep that it's going to be like egg splattered on their face eventually at one point in time when HEX has been around for 5+ years, 10+ years, and it performs better than any other crypto out there. Eventually people are going to start making noise to the people holding it, which is Binance or CZ, who's just a, pile of garbage, if you ask me, in this regard when it comes to the fact that he's gatekeeping HEX the way he is. But that's better for you. It's better to have it gatekept and for you to find out about it early before the masses hear about it. Because if you can get in before it goes and does another 100,000, 10,000x, then you have the potential to make some real amazing returns. In fact, probably turning some of that $1,000 into what could be millions of dollars one day in the future. And that's not even including staking. So you get to earn even more if you actually stake. So that means there's definitely still a huge opportunity for growth, for adoption. It definitely has one of the potentials to become one of the top currencies, in my opinion, because it offered something else unique. It has a unique offer that most other cryptos can't figure out how to do properly. And that is, how do you stake something and earn yield and still be able to function? And HEX has found a way to do that. So by taking advantage of it, you can actually earn high interest passive income without sacrificing any security or giving control of your crypto to any middleman or giving control over your money, right? And guess what? The word's spreading fast, folks. It's getting out there right now. More and more people are discovering HEX every single day. In fact, one of the videos that I just did previously was actually discussing this exact same topic about how gatekeeping and the walls of gatekeeping HEX are coming down. We have very influential crypto space or crypto influencers discussing HEX, discussing PulseChain, discussing PulseX. These are the Richard Hart trifecta, quadfecta when PulseChain comes out, but trifecta right now, that's going to possibly have the best opportunity available to you. Every single day people are discussing HEX, myself included. You have other people promoting it on other social media platforms such as TikTok and Twitter and Reddit. And this is common amongst so many places because there's now more content creators than ever making viral videos about HEX where these things are truly hitting the masses, to every single one, educating their audiences about its benefits. For example, you have Hex Whale on Twitter who's got over 200,000 views on his video where he calls for more viral content about HEX. You have Maddie Allen doing HEX conferences, setting up an event with over 69 speakers who participate in this online conference discussing about HEX, where it runs over 20 hours and it spans typically over multiple days so people can join, learn when they have time, and then it's left on the internet for you to go back in case you missed it. I absolutely love it. You have Crypto Coffee, who's another YouTuber right now who's doing phenomenal things, who's making YouTube videos where he has most of his videos reaching over 10,000 views. He explains how HEX can go viral with TikTok and a strong community. He goes through more detail and more analysis and breaks down the basics in some cases of how to stake your HEX. In fact, that's something I'm going to be doing here, and I'm going to create a little series about doing the exact same thing. So if you're enjoying the content, you like the content that you see, you like this information, and you want to learn more about it, hit that subscribe button. It just means that you're trying to come back, watch some more videos later on. It means that you're appreciating the content that's being put out as well. If you have some suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. Because guys, HEX is going viral. It has all the ingredients it needs to be successful. It really, really does. It's got a visionary founder in Richard Hart. You can follow him on Twitter at Richard Hart Win. He created HEX, a solution to fix everything wrong with traditional finance. You have a loyal community, and I mean by far one of the best communities you will ever find in crypto. We call ourselves Hexicans because for those folks who are staked and understand the mechanics of staking HEX and earning trustless yield and all the real benefits of what DeFi is truly about, that's what you understand when you become a Hexican. You have Hex Crypto, who supports each other, promotes HEX with passion and enthusiasm, and of course, just in fact, the fact that it's a superior product, folks. Let's be real. HEX itself delivers high returns, low risk, easy to use, constantly, always being run. Guys, this is a trustless system that doesn't have any middleman to do any sort of issues whatsoever. So every single day you get paid HEX based on the amount of shares you were able to capture when you stake your HEX. There's a lot of videos that go into discussions about why staking HEX is so advantageous and why you should also be looking into staking HEX and how you can truly benefit from it. But folks, let's just break it down. If you do want to become a part of the revolution, if you want to become a part of becoming a crypto millionaire, becoming a get rich but not quick, but with time and with a process that makes sense, now is the time for you to possibly start looking into buying some HEX. It's done so many things great for the ecosystem, but you want to find it before it goes mainstream, before you end up in a situation where you have the world's richest man talking about it. At that point in time, the world's richest man has already bought it, and we're discussing Bitcoin in this example. Who else is going to be buying after that guy? It's very difficult to make the price move up in certain assets. However, in HEX, we are still so early, so pre-viral. There is so much more room for growth. In fact, we're back on the rally again, and a simple 10x right now would get us back to all-time high at 56 cents. So if you're looking to possibly capture a quick 10x, you might want to start looking into HEX. You can, of course, get HEX if you aren't familiar with where to get it on decentralized exchanges. It is not available on centralized exchanges. HEX truly does remove the middleman. You can find it on Uniswap, Match.xyz. You can find it on CalSwap. You can find it on TokeP. You can find it on so many different decentralized exchanges. And if you want to stake your HEX, you can actually start earning some interest or some trustless yield today. Just go to go.hex.com/stake, where you can actually interact with the smart contract directly from your wallet. You control everything. How long you want to stake for, how much you want to stake. Every little decision you make is up to you, and there is no one that can make that decision for you. It does have to be you. So don't miss an opportunity, guys, that can truly be a chance to be an opportunity for a lifetime for you, your family, and for your generation. This chance to get in early on one of the best cryptocurrencies ever created is going to be an amazing opportunity, and trust me, you will thank me later. That's all I gotta say on that section of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it, you learned something new. If you did, definitely do yourself a favor and me a favor, smash the like button, share the video with friends, share the video with family, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and remember guys, stay hexy, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, I love it. I love it. I had to get that little quick video in there real fast, and let's say what's up to everyone. Debbie G, what's up? How are you? Love seeing you in here. Gabriel, what's going on? Debbie G is a member of Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You can find the link down in the description below as well. Harvey, smash the like button. Greetings, ATX, and everyone in the chat. What up? Hope everyone's having a fantastic Saturday, guys. It's Saturday. It's a blast. We're here to have fun. My stream did go a little bit later than usual. I was doing some house projects around the house. I'm getting stuff set up for my wife's business, and we have sublimation and Cricut machines and all this stuff that I was getting everything done today. I was watching my niece, and so a lot of fun. Kind of got me a little bit distracted. I got caught up playing around with the niece. I'm the fun uncle, if you will. So you can imagine I lost track of time. Apologize to anyone who was possibly waiting. Problem solver, what up? How are you? I'm a kid looking at the present under the tree, but I can't open it for a few years. Dude, that's so funny, because I got the Christmas tree back here, and it's funny that you say that. It is like that same feeling that you know what's going to be coming in the future. And the best part is, the longer it sits there, the better it gets, which is kind of funny. It's like wine, you know, the longer it waits to take, the better it gets over time. And that's essentially what we have whenever we have staking our HEX. So for those folks who have staked out their HEX and gone out to, we'll say, I don't know, 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, even 3 years, however long, it just keeps getting better and better. Why? Because you are in trustless yield every single day. It's incredible. And there's days, folks, where you end up getting a possible 12 HEX per T-share, 16 HEX per T-share. This happens more often than you can imagine, but it doesn't happen as often as one would think. And you have to make sure that you're staked on that day to actually reap the rewards and reap the benefits. So I'm right there with you. Don't become impatient and open the present early. It spoils the present. You know what I mean? I like that analogy right there. I think I'm going to try to use something similar to that in the future. What's up, Ten Top? How are you, my friend? Glad to be here, Clifton. Thank you so much for all the love, Clifton. You've been showing so much love, so much support for my channel, putting all the comments, going back, watching old videos, leaving comments on those as well, sharing the love, sharing the appreciation. So I just want to give a shout out to Clifton. Much love to you as well, my friend, and to every single one of you folks who have gone, watched my videos, come and chatted on the stream, come and left some comments on previous videos, and you're really enjoying suggestions, any of that, guys, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I'm getting better and better with this every single day, and I hope come this time next year, we're looking at a completely different setup and a completely different thing, but it's just going to be that much better and that much better. And that's what I love about this. If I can just get 1% better every single day, I'm going to do that for y'all, and I'm going to do it for myself, because that was part of why I started this channel. It was just to show the journey that I go along and to bring y'all along for the ride, answer some questions as well. So I do just want to give a shout out. Thank you so much to every single one of y'all folks who have gave some love as well. You mean the world to me. It means the world to everyone who's gone and done that as well. Yep, smash the like for sure. Crypto military vet, what's going on? Oorah, Devil Dog, what's happening, my friend? We got Big GZ, ATX, and Hexicans. What's up? Yeah, dude, I think we're getting damn close to a bull market, if you ask me, folks. I mean, I don't know how we're not considered technically in a bull market, but let's just pull this up real fast and take a little peeky weeky over here, some HEX daily information. So we got HEX sitting right now at 5.361 cents. We have been holding this 5-cent level of support pretty freaking phenomenally, if you ask me. You've had several people who've tried to come and dump some HEX and take some profits and do what they will to try to get the price maybe lower. I had a conspiracy theory for a while inside my head that the whales were trying to keep the hex price below 2 cents. And it kind of became funny because I think it was Rackham Rishel or the God Whale or someone like that ended up saying, like, even if you get everything copied at hex at 2 cents, you know, it's 1 for 1. So you'll end up over there and you have price parity. And so it may only be 1 cent on the Ethereum chain and 1 cent on PulseChain, but it's 2 cents overall. It was some weird conspiracy theory that like implanted in my head, and I can't even remember where it's from, but it's just funny that it's lasted and stuck with me that long as well. But guys, we have done a phenomenal job, if you ask me, holding this level of resistance. I'm not even going to draw this line. I mean, I'll leave it here just for fun. And let me just kind of get rid of some of these drawings right now. Let me put a new one here. Oh, so you do have to have that on. Makes sense. Let me see if I can just draw this out here. Yeah, I mean, guys, goodness gracious. We have to break the level right there in order to start falling back down. So until we end up breaking out of that level right there and we start falling out, I mean, that's a pretty strong line of support that we've been building. We have higher highs and higher lows, and typically that's a sign of bullish momentum to come, by the way. So if we're holding 5 cents right now, if we get news of PulseChain V3, PulseChain testnet is out, if we get news of PulseChain launching in the next couple days, I can only imagine how high HEX is truly going to go. So keep an eye on this one, folks, because I was thinking that we were going to come back down and bounce here in this 3 to 5 cent range. We've done a really good job not bouncing down below 5 cents, really. And if we did bounce below, this was really only because Richard Hart announced there was a bug found and people were like, oh shit, PulseChain's never going to launch. It is a scam, whatever their logic was. And so they dumped their HEX and they got push. And so like we saw a 22% decrease that day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 21.47 that day. And we steadily rebuilt this and then actually kept going passing the 5 cent threshold once again. So I am very curious to see. It looks like it's now using it as a level of support. I still have limit orders down here, by the way, folks. So like, if the price drops, I'm still going to be able to capture some more HEX. I still believe that I want to make sure that I'm not trying to play up on the rally. Granted, I have more HEX than I initially had as my goal before PulseChain was launching because of the bear market that we've been in. So I'm just curious to see if it does drop below, then I'm going to scoop up some more. But if you don't have HEX right now, I'm basically based on the previous video that I was just doing, or that discussion I just did, if you don't have HEX right now, buying on red days is sometimes a really good day to be buying, because that just means it's more likely to go up, if you know what I'm saying. Not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Do your own dang research, but goodness gracious, guys, it is pretty interesting that we have everything going for us right now. We have so many good things going for us right now, and I'm so excited for what we're going to be bringing here in the future. We got Brissology in the house. What up, peeps? What up, Brissology? Happy Saturday, my friend. We have Kel in the house. Hello, ATX and everyone here. What up? What's going on? What's crack-a-lackin', my friends, my family, my community, the peeps, all the friends. Hey, guys, it's been an absolute blast being here with every single one of you. Let's take a look over here at the HEX daily stats. For those of y'all who didn't see this, the t-share rate just went up 624 HEX to get one t-share in one day. Basically, it had taken these little, if you just do the average in the past month, if not going all the way back to January, we haven't had a single increase that high, adding every single day up before this date all the way to January 1st. We don't, if you add them all up, there's not 624 HEX. And then yet in one day, that's how fast things can really move. That thing ratcheted up, so now it costs 26,459 HEX to get one t-share. Guys, this is what I'm saying. Don't wait. This t-share rate is only gonna go up. It gets harder and harder and harder every single day to get yourself some t-shares, which is why t-shares, I think, are like gold. It's like you're freaking mining gold when you stake your hex. Except you don't have to buy all the equipment. You just have to do one mechanism on Ethereum and go boop, click the button, and then bam, you start earning hex. It's a phenomenal thing. But the longer you take to stake, the harder and less likely it becomes to get one T-share. And this is just kind of proof in and of itself. It now costs 26,459 to get one T-share. Now the payout yesterday was sitting at 6.373, along with the previous day's 6.366. We had a 7.635 hex per T-share payout 3 days ago. Phenomenal payout there once again. And guys, just to give you an idea, I was talking earlier in the video, but if you go to this website, hexdailystats.com, y'all can see all this information yourself. This is why I love this website. It's public for everyone. This is why I love Hex in general. Like, the people who created Hex, Richard Hart and his developers, aren't even involved in websites like this. This is made by the community for the community. Like, how incredible is that? Love it, love it, love it. So I'm gonna sort this out, guys. Look at this. There's only been a few days in total where we've actually had more than basically 7 or 6. It's been what? I can count in right here. This is probably 15 days in total that it's been above 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's funny. It's 9 on 9. It's 8 on 8. It's 10 on 10. If only it had been 11 here and 12 here. That's too funny. What are the chances? Oh, it's in alphabetical order. It's in numerical order. But that is still funny that it's going up 1. Anyways, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so there's only been 15 days above 7 hex per T-share. And we just had one of them recently. So if you're not staked in hex and you do miss these days, especially something like this, imagine getting 24 hex per T-share. And this happened on November 21st of 2021. There's also been other days where it's gotten 13, close to 13, 11. This is phenomenal. This is almost double what you get every single day. On average right now, it's 6.3 over the last 6 months. And you can see the same information going to hexfire.io, another phenomenal website made by the Hex community once again. Whoops, I went too far back. Well, I'm just going to let it load again real quick. Yeah, so this is hexfire.io. You can see on average we have a daily payout over here at 6.39. And whoops, I didn't go over far enough. Why? Oh, because it pulled it back over. Interesting. And why do you keep doing that? Do I? Oh, okay, because I'm zoomed in here, but I need to zoom in here. There's a little zoom button on the bottom, by the way, if you don't know where I'm clicking. And then now, okay, yeah, there it goes. So you can see that daily payout average over the last 6 months is sitting at 6.39. Over the last 30 days, 6.4. Last 7 days, 6.5. And then the current daily payout's looking around 6.4. So this number has also increased. Whenever I first got into Hex, I think the average was around 4.85 Hex per day per T-shirt that you have in terms of the average payout. So this number is looking to continually increase as well. And just imagine when we're 5 years in the future and this daily payout per T-shirt is sitting somewhere in the ballpark of 10 Hex per T-shirt that you have. But then also the price of Hex in 5 years is $5, we'll say. You know, that's a pretty dang good payout every single day. That's almost, in that scenario, $50 per T-shirt that you have. Like, imagine doing the math on that. So if you end up having 100 T-shares, you're sitting on $5,000 per day in trustless yield that you're getting paid. Like, dude, this is what I freaking sign up for. This is why I am here. So, what? I don't even know. Alan, no, definitely not. This is not a Shiba Inu channel. Talking about Richard Hart ecosystem, Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX. You know that, Alan. You've been here before. Don't act brand new. We got Mudhog in the house. Hey, Hex fam, what's going on? What's up, what's up, what's up? Happy Saturday to every single one of you beautiful people, by the way, as well. So that is what is going on there. Let's take a look over here as well. See the HEX moon phase chart. We are coming up to the new moon here soon, so just trying to keep an eye on this. Full moons are the bright ones, new moons are the dark ones. If you end up doing the moon phases chart yourself on TradingView, it will be reversed, by the way, because I had to double click this and adjust the visibility so that way it would actually be full moon as the brighter one and new moon as the darker one. So if you need to do that yourself, you can, just FYI. And then also I compare and look at how HEX is done against every other crypto since its existence. And again, HEX is freaking crushing. Guys, this is a big long list. And if y'all want me to add any particular coins to this list, feel free to just drop it in the chat and let me know. Again, this is HEX based on the 1 month chart here. So if you pull this up, you can again see we got HEX sitting way above. I moved everything over so you can see, but and it's a little bit tough to see. I can see that. Let me can I zoom? Zoom. All I wanna do, I'm a boom, I'm a zoom. Just make some noise. All right, it's a little bit tough to see, but HEX in the last month has gone up 35%. Love it. And that's again in the last month. It's actually done probably more than that if you ask me. Is this just, oh, this is from a flat zero. That makes sense. So they're trying to all compare against how it's performing against every single thing. And again, this is every other crypto that I think is even worth mentioning. And I put one of the shitty ones on here for shits and gigs because why not? I get a good chuckle whenever I see it doing just absolutely terrible. Let's look at the 5-day. Okay, there's a few coins that have done a little bit better than HEX in the last 5 days. One of them being the shit coin. That's too funny. Oh, it's finally making its comeback. It's down 98% by the way, or 99%. Just not good. Interesting. Cool. And I'm just trying. Oh, this is on the 1 minute chart. Pfft, too funny. That's why it looks so funny. Flip it up to the 1 day. There we go. That looks better. There we go. 1 month. 5 days. Oh, why does it go back to the 5 minute whenever I do this? I guess because the it's doing auto, so it has to try to make it fit, is what my guess is. Let me try something here. This is me just figuring stuff out with y'all. Whoa, that's what happens when it doesn't do auto. Interesting. All right, zoom. Oh, my computer wants to go slow right now. Okay, cool. Well, I'll let it go slow. Anyways, I digress very easily. My little freaking ADHD buddy over here is just kind of tagging along for the ride. So let me go back to what we can actually see. Yeah, now everything's all messed up. No, I got to go back to percentage and everything got all messed up. All right, well, I'll fix that chart later. Not worried. Well, I wanted to look at the Uniswap liquidity as well. So looking over here, we have Uniswap liquidity for HEX. This is a good indicator of kind of what's to come, assuming we can pass this line. Again, anything to the left of the red line is a sell order for HEX. Anything to the right side of this red line is a buy order for HEX. So all these folks are basically saying, I'm willing to buy some more HEX if the price dips back down. A good buy wall, if you ask me. And then we have just a little bit of folks who are still trying to sell, possibly take some profits. And I don't disagree. Taking profits is definitely something everyone should be doing. It's something that I discuss as well. I have a profit-taking spreadsheet. You can find that link down in the description below by accessing my Patreon as well. And yeah, just checking it out. We don't really have too many people who want to sell past 6.5 cents, and then it becomes kind of nothing. But these aren't that many. Like, look how, I mean, this is a very thin sell wall, if you ask me. So if someone just comes in and starts getting the news of PulseChain testnet v3, you can be like, kaboom! And then like all this just gets ate up so fast and then becomes essentially buy orders at that point in time, assuming the price has to come back down to reach it. So that's how that works. Very interesting to see overall. And take a little peeky weeky over at the actual crypto space. So we have a lot of stuff doing a lot of things. HEX is down today, but everything is just kind of flat. So to be expected. It seems like kind of a simple, easy, kind of boring day, which I'm okay with, right? Boring's good. Boring's where you make money, folks. The bear market, this boring, this acclimation phase, this not acclimation, accumulation phase, this is where you make money. This is how you make money. You don't want to do it while the rally's going do 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 do, fucking skyrocketing and all the way up again, and then trying to catch the fallen knife whenever it's fallen, right? Because then it starts dropping and you're like, oh, I'll just buy some more. Oh, I'll just buy some more. I'll just buy some more. And then you're just catching a falling knife. Set yourself limit orders. Set yourself limit orders selling on the way up. Set yourself limit orders buying on the way down. And then you can relax in peace, knowing that you have a good strategy. Again, the 5 P's: proper preparation prevents poor performance. Folks, I talk about this on my channel all the time. We got Alan in the house. HEX is always up and to the right if your stake's 55.55, no cap. These are facts. ATX loves the 1 minute chart. Hey, the 1 minute chart loves me. You got it backwards. A whale needs to fat thumb the buy button like Precious. Can you imagine just a whale coming through? And folks, there's so much like USDC stable coins sitting on the sideline right now that have actually taken profits in HEX that are just waiting at this point in time, because they know the best play when PulseChain is coming is probably going to be, unfortunately, getting into HEX. You can look into other stuff like Hedron and Maxi and those sort of protocols to probably not have the same volatility that you're going to get with HEX. But I think HEX is probably going to find the quickest price parity amongst all of them, because especially considering the AMM bot's actually doing all the work. In fact, you can actually see over here, looking at this PulseChain prediction chart, the launch price of PulseChain, this is a live chart based on real current data. The Ethereum supply is showing that we should be looking about 0.0014 when PulseChain launches, which is going to be a 14x from sacrifice price using 2 different metrics. You have the ETH supply metric chart, and you also have the Uniswap liquidity pools supply metric chart as well. And again, they're showing that both of them, this is where the AMM fixer bot is going to be harvesting all the liquidity as well, should be tying something pretty close to this, folks. So I'm assuming that we're seeing a 14x from launch. I keep looking at this. It's another thing that I kind of do each day on my channel. So if you just want to kind of find that, or if you want access to this chart as well, you can find it down in the link by joining Patreon. So looking overall, guys, we have a lot of good stuff happening. In my opinion, I am excited to see really what we have going on in the future, because guys, this is like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, straight up. Well, that's a good thing, right? Yeah, so Alan says 14x. Yeah, people definitely going to be selling facts. In fact, like, I will be selling. I'm stating that right now. I have a profit-taking strategy implementation that I will be doing and using myself, because I don't imagine that liquid loans or the Power City liquid loans protocol or liquidity protocol is going to be active right when PulseChain launches. So there is no going to be plays on that. It's going to be very easy to over leverage yourself using those plays. So be cautious if you end up messing with it. But assuming there's no play with that, then yeah, you should take profits, because what I see happening is the price going and starting at a 14x, possibly reaching a 50x within the same day, if not shorter, and then dropping down below, you know, maybe to keep it above a 2x or 3x above a sacrifice price. That is called price discovery. Every new crypto will go through price discovery, okay? Like, it's just, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way. I don't know if I need it that close. And there has to be some people who are going to sell, who are going to take profits. I get it, right? We know you'll be selling, bro. The 1 minute chart was a dead giveaway. But people definitely should be taking profits, or at least their initial investment. Yeah, and so, like, again, this is one of those things that you got to figure out yourself, right? I've thought about this for a long time, right? I've thought about this hard and long. I've really had a good consideration saying, like, what happens if, what happens when, what will I do? And I'm making all my strategies based on all those thoughts. Did you know that you can answer the what, when, and where by changing the W to a T? That, then, and there. So what will you be doing? You'll be doing that. What will you be doing when the price hits this? Then you'll be doing this, right? It's like you literally just have to change it. So answer those questions, change it to a T, and figure out what you'll do. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I'm telling you right now, come up with the strategy that's going to be beneficial for you, that you feel like you aren't going to just freaking wreck yourself. Because I think some people are going to do a play, and I think this is the wrong play, but they're going to cash out all of it. They're going to do a full sell. They're going to get into one of the other projects if they think that they sacrificed for PulseX and they didn't get in for PulseChain. Some folks don't care about PulseX, so they're just going to do a full swap into PulseChain, and that's their decision. They can do that if they want. But I think they're going to make the wrong decision in that scenario. Why would you not want to hold them all? And yeah, PulseChain could go and do a 4,000x in the first 4 years. PulseX may only do a 500x in the first year. Like, there's no way of telling. But like, if you were to tell someone that you could literally maximize the returns and 10x, 50x the money, everyone's going to be so thankful for you. If you 50x your money, that is game changer for so many folks. Even if it's a simple $100 and you go and 50x that money, that's game changer. And I'm telling you guys, I really do mean that. $100 turned into 5,000 for some people could be life changing, right? They could literally relax. They could pay their bills on time. They could do a whole bunch of stuff. But you just have to make sure that you have a good strategy that's going to be working for you. I promise. Switch the W for the T. That's fire. I'm changing my pronouns to that then and there. Yeah, that's a real thing. Like, the fun fact, right? This is one of those things. Change the W for the T and what, when, and where, and you'll answer all the questions. It's that simple. You have a good video on taking profits. Thank you so much, Clifton. Yeah, definitely a phenomenal video that I put together. Put some thoughts. I got some more videos coming out that I'm going to be discussing profit-taking strategies, profit-taking abilities, things for you, things to just think about and make your own decision. Because at the end of the day, I can't make that decision to sell. I can't click the button for you. You got to make that decision yourself. So at the end of the day, you are responsible for any decisions that you make. I'm not a financial advisor. I definitely damn sure ain't giving no personal financial advice. So if you want to do something, then do it. Don't blame someone else for your decision, whether it's good or bad. Learn, right? That's just what we end up doing. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. I'm telling you, like, that's just how it goes, straight up. Let me see what else I got going real fast. Do y'all have any questions for me in chat? I know, you know, love to answer any questions anyone has on chat. Always love seeing the information that y'all ask, because guys, that's a great input right now. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna pull up another thing. All right. And again, guys, I hope everyone is having a fantastic Saturday. They're off, heading to Dollar Tree, across the street. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's pull this up here. But yeah, let me know what's going on. Oh, we got Alan real quick, asked something here. Have you talked about ICOSA rolling stakes? A great way to set yourself up for weekly or bi-weekly passive income. So I don't really personally, I'm not knowledgeable enough when it comes to the ICOSA Hedron world to feel like I would give any good talks. I mean, shit, I can't even talk about it right now. So that just clearly proves that I'm probably not the best person when it comes to that. There are definitely much better folks in our ecosystem. Maxim Broadcast does some good stuff. You have Crypto Sloth, who makes some phenomenal information in that regard as well. So I think there's better people that can handle those discussions, and I'd rather personally probably hear from them, because I'm not doing those strategies myself. So I wouldn't feel, you know, comfortable discussing strategies whenever I don't even have a strategy for myself. The only thing that I do with my Hedron is I collect my Hedron whenever my stakes are ending. So right before a stake ends, I'll mint my Hedron into existence. When Hedron first launched, it had a claim bonus phase. I got a 10x on all my Hedron bonuses at that time. for all of my stakes. And so whenever I have a stake ending, I literally just claim my hedron. And for now, I do a good job of just kind of holding, right? I can either hold it, I can swap it, I can take some profits if I need to sell it. I love the fact that I don't necessarily even have to sell HEX anymore. I can just go back and restake it some more. My buddies that I actually got into HEX are more knowledgeable when it comes to ICOSA and that sort of ecosystem, WhatsApp and all that. So I'd rather, you know, unfortunately, not definitely say the wrong information, but there are definitely people in the community, in our ecosystem, who do phenomenal. This is how we do it. Facts, facts, facts. Made a wallet for my cat. Hey, I think everyone should make probably like 3 wallets. That's just kind of like what a number that I've come up with in my head that if sound good. It's kind of the same argument that I say if you're in a relationship, I think there should be 3 bank accounts. You should have your own, they should have their own, and then you should have a joint that pays all bills. Everything's good. You can live a nice lifestyle, but not joint accounts. It can be an argument waiting to happen just because you go to McDonald's, for example, and you spent $20 at McDonald's because you were hungry. You know, why even argue about that? It's a silly argument. That's all I'm just trying to say. So I've been there, I've done that, been in those relationships, don't really care for it, and I've learned from it. So if you aren't learning from those, then I don't know. You're just trying to like, it's like you keep buying a reindeer for Christmas and you leave it outside and it keeps getting stolen. And then every single Christmas you buy another reindeer and it keeps getting stolen and you aren't doing anything different. You literally aren't pinning it down. You aren't doing anything different. You just keep buying a reindeer and it keeps getting stolen. Well, that's how I feel about bank accounts. Well, going back to that thought process, you should have 3 wallets, right? One, I feel like you should have for your HEX stakes. And I truly mean a separate wallet from any other crypto that you never touch. Why? Because most cryptos, you don't have a 15-year mindset mentality that you're waiting for. I also think you should set up a separate wallet that also has your stakes. So I think there should be 2 wallets that are HEX and HEX focused only. They can be PulseChain and PulseX and that good stuff, but they shouldn't be any other cryptos, because when you're connecting to decentralized applications or dApps, you're inherently opening up more risk by connecting to that dApp. You give it permissions to do certain things when you connect your wallet. Some of those things are bad bugs, which can be a way for you to get hacked and lose all your money. And I would be damned if I freaking lost all of my stakes in one go because I clicked on one thing. So I have a backup wallet just in case, because I'm like, dude, if one gets stolen, if one gets lost, if I screw myself over by doing something stupid, then I'm still going to be able to be okay. I don't want to be in a world where I just get effed. And then I think you should have a 3rd wallet as a degen wallet. This wallet you can go and do all your fun trades on. You can do all your freaking new coins. If you feel like you got to be a part, you want to catch the new hype, there's a new coin coming out, the Floki new coin or whatever kind of shit coin is going on out there, go degen with a separate wallet that is not accessible to your stakes at all. Okay, that's my recommendation. Very easy 3 wallet strategy, but your cat can also have a nice wallet to ensure that they don't screw themselves over. So how do you see a person without a SAC balance getting in? Well, the first way of getting in is truly by playing and leveraging HEX. HEX is going to be the fastest way possible to you to, it's kind of like it's kind of the only coin, because you know it's going to have liquidity when PulseChain launches. Why? Because it's built by the same community. So you don't want to be trying to do any sort of ratio trading, in my personal opinion. I think the first couple days when PulseChain launches, you've waited this long, wait a couple more days. If you don't understand ratio trading, don't try to figure it out, because you'll make the wrong decision and you'll probably regret it. The best way to do it is by getting HEX, having it copied over. If you are using HEX as a sole purpose of getting PulseChain, PulseX, and those coins, then literally use it for that purpose. You have your HEX now, you buy some HEX, you stake your HEX, and once that's done, you keep a small portion that you're planning on converting into PulseChain. You then have it copied over to PulseChain and Ethereum. You can then, when the bridge exists, bridge in the Ethereum HEX into the PulseChain side and swap them for PulseChain and PulseX. I think that's going to probably be the fastest way to do it. Don't don't swap them when the freaking thing's already gone up and done 10, 20, 30x. Wait, I think there is going to be a drawback. You just have to be patient. It's okay. Patience is the name of the game in crypto. That's how you win. So wait until you see a 60% drawback, 50% drawback, whatever number works for you in your heart of hearts. Then you start averaging your way in. You start converting some of that HEX that you had, moving it into PulseChain and PulseX. But again, wait for that dip. If you see it going and doing a freaking monster rally, it's probably not a good time for you to go about getting in and swapping, because then you'll be holding it, could be for a couple months, until it starts reaching back to the point you had it, and you could have bought so much more on the 50, 60, 70% dips, especially knowing that they are in fact in the game. It is a true thing. So hopefully that answered the question, Clifton. But yeah, I would look into HEX and use it as a mechanism to get in. Got to get Crypto Sloth on here. He's a friendly dude with a large brain. Yeah. I have it written down. I haven't reached out to him yet, but I do have him written down. He was one of the guests recommended that I reach out to. Oh, by the way, folks, Funding Jim will be on my stream tomorrow. I will be doing a stream at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with Funding Jim. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to draw up a little promotion, a little picture, a little thumbnail. I'm going to send that information out via Twitter and start getting the information out today. I'll also be posting it probably tomorrow as well before the stream. And then I'll do one more post when the stream actually is going live to make sure that we can get as many folks in there as possible. Show some love for Funding Jim for even coming on and supporting the channel. He's been a major contributor, in my opinion, to probably some of the growth that I've seen over the last month in this regard. I think I've already gone up like 200 subscribers in the last month. So thank you to everyone who's new to the channel. Subscribing to the channel means a lot. The goal is now, I wanted to be at 700 by the end of February. We crushed that. Now it's like, let's see if we can just fucking beat 1,000 by the end of February. Like, why not? You know what I mean? So I definitely want to get him in and want to get him on for Crypto Sloth. And I'm slowly going to be bringing on people probably in the community. I've reached out to a few other folks, waiting on their responses, and you know, definitely just a blast to be here as well. Are you in early bull camp or extended bull camp or 4-year cycle to the T? I mean, shit, dude, I'm gonna have to say we're probably early bull camp right now, in my personal opinion, because like, you have to understand that when I'm talking about bull, I'm literally talking about the HEX ecosystem. So like, I know that you have the possibility of, say, Bitcoin doing certain things, Ethereum doing certain things. I'm not necessarily looking at those whenever I'm talking about the bull cycle and the bull market. I'm referring to HEX. And based on what I've seen since January 1st, and with the more announcements on Richard Hart's side, talking about PulseChain, mentioning it, tweeting about it, he was radio silent for a very long time. And literally all it takes for for HEX to do just crazy numbers and enter a whole nother rally again is another tweet saying V3 testnet's live, or PulseChain's coming out in the next week, or whatever he's going to say. He's going to say something that's going to basically, in my opinion, probably cause the HEX price to freaking double. So if we can stay above 5 cents right now, then we see the price of HEX reaching 10 cents, if not higher, pretty fast. And that could be coming very soon. That's not even including the virality that we have with the Highest of Stakes documentary and all this other stuff as well. So I am definitely in the early bull camp cycle for our ecosystem. Is 21 million PulseX enough to become free? Well, based on, I mean, look at, let's just do some fun math while you're talking about that, right? So 21 million, let's just say 123, that the current price is, we'll just say SAC price. So 0.0001. That would mean it's roughly around $2,100, okay? Let's just say that PulseX does, in fact, do the average, like I've shown previously, of just a 500x within the first year. Well, that turns that $2,100 into 1.05 million. I'll just call it a $1 million, right? You literally turn $1 million or $2,100 into $1 million. Now, at what point in time do you consider yourself free? For some folks, they hear that number and they say, yeah, I'd never have to work again. For other folks, they're like, that's just the beginning that I'm wanting to see, right? And so you're going to have to make that determination yourself. But I think you're going to be able to make a lot easier decisions knowing that you have $1 million in the bank basically as backup. If something happens, you can essentially call on that, right? And I do think that liquidity is going to be there to cash out something like $1 million. Liquidity is going to be low probably on both sides for PulseChain, PulseX, all of that. But just a simple 1 year from PulseX launching on average, doing a 500x. I mean, yeah, dude, I would say if that's enough for you to become financially free, you can start making a whole bunch of decisions. So if you need 300 million, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer in that regard as well, right? Because, I mean, if you just do that same, you know, what is it, 2100 times, we'll just say 4,000, because I think that's probably pretty close. That's 84 million. Nope, that's 8.4 million. Yeah, so if you're needing 300 million crypto panhandler to be free, then I think you're in a different world, in and of a world that I don't exist in right now. Because I would say that you become free personally when you have 10 million and you can allow yourself to make any decision that you want. If you want to go continue to work, you're doing it because you want to, not because you have to. If you want to go try a new career, you're doing it because you can, not because you have to, right? There's so many benefits that, like, what does free mean to you? I think free personally just means being able to make the decision that you want when you want, because you want, not because you have to or because it's needed. It's truly a freedom where it's like, dude, if I want to leave here right now, I can. That's how I felt whenever I was working before I retired, right? I would always have this feeling that was like, man, why am I freaking working right now? Like, I don't have to deal with this bullshit. And then there's other days where I would get paid, you know, tens of thousands a month, and I'm like, oh, that's why I do this job, because it wasn't that hard and I got some good money out of it. But then, do I want to deal with the BS? And like, everyone has to live with that level right there for yourself. He says free means wearing silk boxers. Yeah, dude, like free is a relative term for yourself. You have to make that decision, but I think you can be a lot more free to make your decisions when you have X amount of dollars. And I think that number, in my opinion, is 10 million personally, because, you know, you don't really need any more than that. If you're not going out and buying all these new houses and all this new property, hopefully you don't just get 10 million and fucking spend 10 million. Then you're never going to be free, right? Because then it's like, oh, you have all this new shiny stuff, but what are you actually getting from it? Nothing, right? So everyone's going to have to make that determination for yourself. Clifton says, not financial advice, but how many hex pulse or hex PulseX? Oh, how many hex for pulse or hex PulseX when everything goes live post-bridge non-ratio? Well, I mean, looking at, this was a website you can use, hex dot, dude, what was it? Give me a sec on this. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on it. Still drawing a blank. It's not hex.vision, dude. What the freak was it? App.hex.win? Is that what it was? App.hex.win? What is that website? It's one of those ones. Let me just Google it real quick. Give me a second. It's been a while since I've ventured to this website, but I know it's similar to what it's apphex.win, not app.hex.win. Okay, cool. So I'll show you real quick. So if you come over here and just click on charts, you can see right now 1 hex is equivalent to roughly about 312 pulse based on the test net right now. So based on these same metrics, right, it's a lot of stuff that you're gonna have to figure out. One, you have to break down the ratios, and the easy ratio to understand is 10,000 pulse per $1, because that was kind of what you were given. So you had to figure out how many hex equals that number in terms of dollar value. So if the price of hex right now is sitting at 5.3 cents, well, if I do 0.53 divided by $1, that would give you 18.8 hex for what is close to 10,000 PulseChain, right? And that's the metric that you're gonna have to figure out. Like, The ratio trading can get very confusing very quick for a lot of folks. So I don't want you to get too caught up in this and try to make the wrong decisions, because sometimes, like you said, post bridge, you just seeing some dollars makes a lot more sense. Seeing all of it in dollar value makes a lot more sense. But if you can get, we'll say 10,000 pulse for 19 hex, that would be considered to be a good ratio. Same for PulseX. Why? Because it's the same ratio. 10,000 points were given per $1. So how much can you get for $1 of hex? That's what you have to figure out first. Then when you figure that information out, you just base it on the 10,000 number, and then you have to see, does that ratio sound like it's good? So if I do the same thing now, 312 times 18.8, then I'm getting roughly about 5,900 pulse per 18 hex, right? That's the numbers based on this math right here. Based on this chart right here that I'm looking at, this is the math that you're seeing. It would be 18 hex, 19 hex, we'll say, would get you close to 6,000 pulse. Now, is that a good ratio for you? I don't know. You got to figure that out. But the closer you can get to that 10,000 ratio number, the better the ratio is going to be in terms of you getting kind of what you were able to get in terms of the sacrifice price before it launched. Now, it is just going to, again, once they're paired liquidity wise, as soon as pulse goes up, hex goes up. It's the whole law. It's Richard Hart's law, right? Or Hart's law, where providing liquidity based on one thing going up, the other thing goes up as well. Same thing when one goes down, it pulls the other one down. That's why you see Bitcoin and Ethereum freaking move together. I had a little chart that I was looking at before, but it literally showed them moving damn near identical. It was almost kind of creepy how similar they moved, but it's because of Hart's law. PulseChain and HEX are going to do something similar. So the closer you can get to the 10,000 pulse per $1 worth of hex, whatever that amount is, because that $1 worth of hex is going to constantly fluctuate, right? So if hex ends up reaching 10 cents, then you're only going to have 10 hex. But if you can get 10,000 pulse for 10 hex, then you're closer to the ratio that you're looking for. So figure that number out, and that's the basic math of how to get something done on that. Hopefully that answers the question. The same logic goes for Pulse and PulseX, my personal opinion, because they were given the same ratio, 10,000 for $1. So I'm basing just on that ratio alone. So it's a simple metric that's standard across all three. Hex can be $1, Pulse can be $1, or, you know, the equivalent of how much you get for $1. All these numbers have to go into it, but that's kind of what you'd be seeing right there. Hopefully that answered the question for you, Clifton. Appreciate the question. Yeah, free means wearing silk boxers. That's funny. Rich and wealthy are two different things. Selling your Pulse and PulseX bags, big mistake. When they're tools that will produce on a daily basis, same as selling Hex. Yeah, so I always had a tough time selling Hex, right? In my heart of hearts, because I was like, that was the one thing I kind of had against Hex, was like, there's no way to really take profits without selling Hex, and I really don't want to sell Hex. Well, now you got Hedron, which kind of opened up a whole new world, Anyways, y'all don't want to hear me sing, but that was kind of the whole new world that opened up when Hedron started coming into existence, right? Now there's other things you can also claim. If you're staked in Hex as well, you got to do your own research and figure out if it's going to be something that you're going to participate in. I do think that there is a good strategy. PulseX is going to have yield farming. We're going to be discussing that going forward on my channel. Get ready for that. I can't wait to discuss that in more detail. And you're going to have the ability to provide staking. I think the rewards in terms of Pulse are going to start out relatively low if you are staking, just because it doesn't cost much. The price of Pulse is going to be 0.00 something. So you're not going to get much in terms of the reward in the beginning. But if it goes and does a 5,000x, that reward turns into quite a bit. So they each have their own little purposes. PulseX got the buy and burn mechanic, which just means the longer you hold it, the less there are. Both of them are deflationary coins. So they're starting out with a max supply, and then they're only going to go down based on law of supply and demand. Supply is going down, demand's going up. Guess what happens to the price? It goes up too. So Lots of fun stuff there. Yeah, you have to flip the switch. Yeah, you have to flip the switch in your brain. Don't go buy Cadillac with your gains and have that all you have to show for it. Buy investment properties. Your money should work for you, not in reverse. I'm not a fan of using crypto for real estate. I'm more of a fan of setting up something like CRT, for example, which is what I've gone and done, where you can do charitable remainder trust. You can set up trust in a whole lot of other ones. There's Crux. There's so many different freaking charitable remainder trust. There's so many different trusts out there that you got to make that decision for what you're looking for. But you can actually end up setting that amount in a certain supply and get paid monthly or get paid quarterly, or set yourself up so your kids are taken care of financially forward in the future. Again, real estate only can gain so much in value, and typically you have to hold on to it for many, many years, whereas something that you can provide yourself and pay yourself out of this system, not only that, it's non-taxable because again, it's a charity. There's so many benefits to CRTs that I can get into right now, but it's definitely not the stream to discuss that information. But yeah, I'm personally not a fan of using it for real estate, but I've never been big in real estate in the first place. Maybe whenever I have $1 billion or something like that, I'll go and, probably buy properties in a few places around the world, just so that way I can travel whenever the F I want to and just have different places to go to. So there's always that metric, Wife is heading to Starbucks. I'm getting myself a white mocha. Love it. All right. John Trotter says, I'm hoping to get out of debt and sitting on the rest of my stakes and let those pay me. Freedom is escaping the rat race. Facts. That's what I'm saying. Like, freedom, the definition of freedom is going to be different for everyone, right? Freedom could be escaping poverty. Freedom could mean being debt free. Freedom could mean a whole bunch of different things for a whole bunch of different people. So you got to make that determination yourself. But the benefit of having a whole bunch of money is it becomes that much easier to make those decisions. You know what I mean? Like, just pretty easy there, right? If you don't have to work because you truly don't need to work, but if you love what you do and you want to continue doing it, it just makes it that much better when you do wake up in the morning to go do it. You know what I mean? Because you already love doing it, but you feel like sometimes that you need to go do it, and the feeling of needing and not needing, big difference, and that's a difference in freedom for me. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. But John Trotter, I'm right there with you. Paying off debt, big benefit right from the jump. If you can start paying off debt, oh my gosh, it's this relief lifted off your shoulder. And then you start seeing other things come out from stakes, from different protocols, from us having PulseChain, from us doing yield farming. There's going to be so many things that are going to be available to us that I can't wait. Yeah, it's indeed the parity principle. Facts on facts, Clifton. Thanks so much for the awesome answer. Of course, love what you are talking about and love the question. I'm clipping that song. I would love to see that clip where I just say a whole new world, just like, and then it just goes into the actual song. I would love to see that. Shaquille O'Neal's rich. The guy who signs the check that Shaq cashes is wealthy. Yeah, facts. Yeah, there was the funny video that you end up seeing, like rich versus wealthy, or rich versus rich. I forget exactly the name of it all. But it's so funny, like you have rich who you think you open up this mentality that you're above everyone, that no one else can compare to you, and that you're just the best thing to ever exist since sliced bread. And then you have wealthy, and those are the people who are typically just in fucking shorts and flip-flops, chilling, not relaxing. They're not angry at anyone. They like, someone says that, there's a problem with whatever. They're like, take your time, go do you, boo. Love what you're doing. Thank you so much for your help. Like, that's wealthy, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm with you there. There's a big difference between rich and wealthy, for sure. And you got to make sure that you're not going to fall into the category of rich, which is that sudden wealth syndrome, in my personal opinion. When you end up accruing more money than you've ever seen made in your life, especially making more money than you've ever made in probably the last 10 years, the difference is, how do you show yourself and how do you act now that you have that money? If you think you can just buy everyone off because you got money, that's just rich, you know what I mean? But if you think you're like, dude, I need to make the world a better place, that's wealthy. So I think that's why I'm a big fan of Richard Hart, everything that he does as well. John Trotter says Shaq is definitely getting, definitely signing a lot of checks himself. Just saying. Hey, he's got plenty of things going. Can you explain how the average guy takes profits without Taxman coming? Is liquid loans the way? So, man, the tax guy is gonna come a lot of the times, no matter what you do. Now, the best thing you can do in order to take profits is by setting something up like a charitable remainder trust, or setting up trust that you can have all your money in, and if you need to extract funds or pay yourself quarterly dividends in that regard based on the profits that it's made, that's going to be the way you actually avoid taxes in the best way possible that's legal. The other way of doing it is pay taxes, right? Like if you are able and fortunate to be able to take profits, and you're blessed in this regard that you've made more money in crypto than you've got on your 9-to-5 job, for example, then you pay taxes there. Like, yeah, pay your taxes. Like, as much as I want to say, don't pay taxes, that's a terrible advice. That's just not good. That's just not good recommendation for anyone. So I would think that what I'm trying to learn right now is liquidity or liquidity. I'm trying to look into liquidity because the two forks that are forking over those two protocols from Liquid Loans and Power City are forking over the liquidity protocol. And I've been trying to dive in and do my research on how does tax work, because crypto is just a different animal. You can't get taxed on a loan, but that's if you just take a loan out in personal dollars, right? And that's what a lot of folks will do in the stock market. But I gotta say, crypto is a different animal, and they're gonna come at you from whatever angle they can try to get you at, because they don't understand it. So I'm trying to personally learn how the liquidity protocol works, how they can make it so that way you can still change the token for cash, because that's typically a taxable event in my scenario when something like that happens. I haven't found the video that explains it to me in an easy to understand way. So if you have some videos on that, then point that direction toward me. Shoot me a DM on Twitter, ATX Crypt. I'm happy to find it. I'm trying to learn with every single one of y'all as well. And I'm a big fan of like what we might be able to take away from Liquid Loans and the protocol that we have available to us there, and how we're going to be able to do the same thing for Power City's Liquid Loans on PulseX, right? I don't know why I just did the quotation marks, but they're going to have the same fork where you can take out some cash using your PulseX. So you'll have Liquid Loans for Pulse, you'll have Power City for, I think it's called Amplifier, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But you're going to be able to have that protocol and two protocols. He has Pulse and PulseX. Incredible stuff. But I definitely want to do some more research myself so I can make the best decision and have a better understanding for when the time comes. Now, again, I'm not a tax advisor. I have someone who fortunately was able to set me up like that. I got myself partnered up with the Discourse Syndicate crew and Kinetics and Mountain Crypto Advisors, and that's how I have everything set up for myself. I did that a couple years back when they first launched. So I was able to be fortunate in that regard and take advantage of it, but I would definitely advise you start looking into something like that, because for me, it makes sense to pay the money for what is a huge benefit down the line, and making sure that everything's covered in the future, and making sure all the ducks are in a row and all that good stuff. Yeah, Alan says cash flow for sure. Yeah, cash flow is the way to go, because real estate definitely has cash flow, but that's also where you get like yield farming from, and there's other, items that you can get cash flow from, because at a certain point in time, you should only be taking in so much money, in my opinion. I want my investments to just keep growing and growing and growing. And so like if I can say cash out, we'll just say $100,000 for example, and I can live on that $100,000 and it pays me for the year, then I don't have to worry about anything else. I can literally just let it continue to grow. Now, is that all in one go? Probably depends on how you set yourself up. Do you take profits? When do you take profits? How do you take profits? But I want my investments to continue to grow, because I find that is how I'm going to get the most reward. So cash flow is, yeah, like that's why real estate is a good option. I see what you're saying. It is. It also has its drawbacks as well, becoming a landlord and owning multiple properties and having to take all this time to go through and do it. Now, granted, you can hire a property manager and you can go through and do all this other stuff, but that's just not something that I personally want to learn, right? If you want to learn, or if you already know, then it's very beneficial for you in that regard. But it's opening up a whole new world again for me that I just don't want to divulge and start learning, because I can also make big mistakes and end up screwing myself over, especially if I'm over here trying to buy properties and I don't understand that the real estate prices are reaching all-time highs and the real estate's going to crash soon, and then all this stuff is happening. And if you don't understand all that and you just bought all this property and you're just losing money on those properties because you don't have any tenants, it's a risk that I'm not willing to take personally. That's why I'm not a fan of using crypto for real estate. But if you go and buy real estate for yourself and just have multiple properties, like, that's what I'm a fan of. And then you can sell those properties later. You know what I mean? So, yeah, great idea. You answered my question. Thank you so much. Of course. Thank you. Yeah, with CRT, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's definitely one of the best ways to do it. It's, again, you want to find someone who's going to be able to do it correctly, because there's definitely multiple scenarios you can set yourself up with different trusts that have different benefits of their own. And so it just depends on where you're at, what you're trying to do. And so that's why I was a fan of how Mountain Crypto Advisors set me up. And then they set up multiple trusts at the same time. And so it's not like I just have to rely on one, or, you know, just have one. And then I realized that you actually need 4 others in order to take full advantage of the entire thing. And like, it was a whole new system for me. So I was happy that I was able to use them. Give me 1 second here. All right, let's go over here, read over some chat some more. I appreciate everyone tuning in right now, guys. Thank you so much. We got 38 likes on the video so far. We got 48 viewers. Guys, this is amazing. Thank you so much for all the love, all the support, every single one of y'all who have come into the channel, checked my stream out, learned with me as well, guys. This is a lesson that we're all growing at the same time, you know what I mean? So Luke Scott says, imagine if there was an option to burn your own staking rewards, PulseX, with a toggle button. I wonder if people would use it, if they could see how many others are doing the same thing. Mass burning? Dude, like, the freaking PulseX, dude, the buy and burn function alone is going to be, like, so game changer for so many folks that I'm just so excited to see. Because, I mean, there's already been 89 billion PulseX burned. At Clifton Lewis, just send USDC in and out of on and off ramps. What you do on the decentralized web stays on the decentralized web. Yeah. So it's again, it's always tough, right? Like, they're trying to crack down, they're trying to do everything they can, but I'm in the same ballpark as you, Brasology. Decentralized is decentralized, fiat's fiat. You know, he says, appreciate the insight, of course. Can I pay the government a one-time payoff fee and never pay taxes again? Like, break it up, like a breakup fee? Can you imagine? You're just like, dude, here's $1 million. Just leave me the F alone for the rest of my life. And then, like, I think so many people would take advantage of that. If they want to make quick money real fast, I think they should implement some strategy like that. So I'm with you on that. Big GZ says, no financial advice here. Please consult your advisor. For sure. Yeah, definitely. No financial or tax advice here. Yeah, I totally agree. Pay the tax costs to be a boss. I feel like if you sell ETH or crypto at the centralized exchange, that's where they get you. I would trade my crypto for USDC on Uniswap and send the USDC to a centralized exchange. Just my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Like, so I literally use a centralized exchange. I buy USDC, I move it over into the wallet that I have that I'm transacting with or whatever, and then I use any decentralized exchange like Uniswap, CalSwap, Match.xyz, so many other ones that are out there. swap it to whatever you want to swap it into, and then just do your thing, which is why I also believe in taking profits, and I have the profit taking strategy that I've implemented. And so far, I mean, they just don't have the manpower to look at every single transaction, because you have to try to figure out, did they make profit? Did they lose money? There's so many different ballparks of world that they can try to come and get you where they want to. And you can, of course, report what you want to if you want to be on the true up and up. But I think if you report what they want to, they're just going to be trying to snoop deeper, and they're going to be like, he's still lying. He made more money. And so it just depends on where you're at. You know what I mean? All right. Let me read the last few, and then I got to hop off, unfortunately, guys. But I will be back tomorrow with the Funding Gym. Stay tuned for that interview, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with Funding Gym. Get a bank in another country with better tax advantages. Get citizenship and an investment. Just have dual citizenship, VPN, all of your crypto withdrawals over the IP from there, and boom, tax-free. Yeah, there's so many different strategies that are available, and crypto is so new for so many folks that they just don't understand how powerful it is. Got to expand your portfolios. I'm a real estate agent, so I'm going to say if you have properties, you will be okay in the future. Just like HEX, long hold with the yield. You can cash out equity from it. Yeah, I agree with this statement completely. Like, buying properties for yourself and then cashing those out in the future, cool. Do I want people living in my property while I'm not there? I don't know. We're gonna have to make that decision whenever I'm in that when I'm in that boat. But I just don't want to be like I don't want to be a house owner for multiple people. What do you tell new HEX users who say I'm too late, share price is too high for me? I mean, you're literally to someone who's brand new to the ecosystem. One, it's tough to convince, like, because if you're brand new, coming from an outside world of never seeing HEX and understanding DeFi, it's how far in the DeFi world are they? Because HEX is true DeFi, and that's where it really benefits from. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about, are you new to HEX? No, there's still so much gains to be made. Do I see HEX reaching $1 at some point in the future? Yeah. So that would mean you're looking at a 25x from right now. Could you benefit from a 25x? I know I personally could. That's kind of what I would say on that one. The T-share rate, the longer you wait to stake, the higher it gets. So what are you waiting for? You're going to wait till it hits 30,000 HEX per T-share? You waiting until it hits 35,000 HEX per T-share? Are you waiting for PulseChain? Like, I don't know what you're waiting for, but stake your HEX, right? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, do you, boo? But that's kind of what I would say. That's how I would handle that situation. Yeah, I do like the Airbnb option for real estate portfolio. All in on ATX crypto for sure. Let's go. Appreciate that. Merry Christmas, Rich says. Absolutely. Christmas year round. Imagine this. Richard has so much money, $280 million in the PulseSack wallet. If he converted a chunk of it to Ethereum, then staked it, then took out the staking rewards and bought HEX, PulseX. Dude, like, you can't even imagine. It's so freaking beneficial for... it's so mind-blowing, the numbers. Like, I look at the Godwill address, and I just see the transactions they do, and I'm like, they made 500,000 HEX in a month. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff, like, wild on yield, right? And that's just doing a 30-day stake. Like, I would love to make that kind of money. John Trotter, I show new people, whoops, didn't mean to make that bigger. I show new people that are my buddies what I put in and what I plan for the future, and tell them one day I'll be rolling. Hope you'll be with me. Yeah, so I stopped showing. I was a big fan of showing. I was a big fan of like, hey guys, look where I'm at. This is how much I initially invested. This is where I got to. And then I realized at a certain point in time that like the people who want to learn and that are going to come along, they're going to come along with you. And they're going to keep asking you questions. So you can just show by retiring. You can show by not having to work. You can show that. And then they just want to come along. So I stopped showing my wallet because when the price goes down, then they just see it like this number, like, oh, you just lost all your money. And I'm like, not even close, bro. I still have more money than I ever had before. However, it's just less than I previously had. I'm all good, you know, but like in their heart of hearts, that can sometimes push people away as well. So I stopped showing my wallet in that regard. A constant vampire attack, exactly. Hex Squid, what's up? Enjoy the white mocha, bro. You earned. Hey, thanks for the show, ATX Pressology. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, it's been an absolute banger of a show today. I had an absolute blast. I hope y'all enjoyed it as well. Come in tomorrow for my stream with Funding Gym, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will catch you then. Peace.